Welcome back to another edition of Forensic Foreplay. It is September 15th of 2023, and we have got a full sweep of updates for you tonight. We've got Megan Stoner, who's landed her butt in jail, finally. We've got some updates on Barry Morphew, and our creepy city councilman out in Tennessee. There's a big old wanted poster with his name on it. So let's cover the bases. I'm going to bring on my co-host. The birthday boy has joined us.
Yeah, look, I got a Jim Banks sent me a birthday card. Aren't you jealous? He's our U.S. House of Representatives, District 3. He's running for senator now, so he really wants my vote bad. So he better send me more than a birthday thing. So yeah, we got a lot. This is like a crazy week. All of a sudden, all this stuff went there, and I think we just lost our guest backstage. So she's driving in a car. Oh, there she is. She's back. So this will be interesting. But we do have a guest tonight. We have a guest.
Yeah.
She's going to be, she's coming back from Washington, D.C. She was out there for some meetings, but she knows a little bit about the Barry Morphew case. But she is a big following the Delphi murders case. And that's one we haven't really delved into. We have our hands full with all this other stuff.
I stayed away from delving into the Delphi case because it was so heavily touched upon, and there was a lot of drama going on in the background. We had a lot of gatekeepers that did not like other creators and folks doing their own shows to even touch on Delphi. It was just so heavily, just the content was so much to keep up on. But I personally have been keeping up on Delphi on my own time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a true crime. I can barely keep up with me here on this. And this week's been really interesting. So we're going to talk about Barry Morphew. We're going to talk about the Steve Sumner. Not a lot to talk about with him. Megan Stoner, that's
she had
that's
it
a
coming.
gift that keeps on giving. You know what's really interesting about all three of these cases? They are all from around the Alexandria, Elwood area. It's like, it's crazy. There must be something in the water,
John.
Yeah, I know it. It's like Anderson water. Don't leave home without it, or you want to leave home without it. I don't know. Hey, we got one viewer here, and that's on YouTube. And so if you're on YouTube and you're on Facebook, hey, you can post in the live chat, and if you have a question, we'll try to answer it for you.
I absolutely will.
But we do have our guest, Julie. She's going to touch on the Barry Morphew case here. So since we got her on the line, let's go over that real quick. If you want to get started. So, well, I mean, I'm not going to bring her on yet because we're going to talk about this latest development first. How about that? So let me put that up here on the screen in front of us. Oh, there you go. So what's old Barry got going on here? Looks like he's got, let me get that banner off of there because it's blocking our view. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is a case between the plaintiffs are Jeffrey Titus and Cheryl Titus. And
so this was just filed on Monday then.
Well, it was filed back in
motion to dismiss.
Yeah.
That hearing is for September.
Yeah.
Is September. Okay.
And this is Jeffrey Titus and Cheryl Titus, and this is in around Noblesville. So this is where we I guess Barry is back here in Noblesville. He's opened a business under his daughter's name, and I believe he may be living at his mom's house. I don't know. That's the address that's listed for the business. So what's going on here? See the bottom name there, Ray Adler. So I saw this on one of the Barry Morphew pages, and I'm looking at it. I'm going, hey, I know Ray Adler. In fact, I'm going to see him tomorrow night at a GOP Republican dinner. So sure enough, I go, and there's Ray Adler sitting right up in front. Now, I don't know how many people watch Suits. If you watch Suits, he's like the Harvey Specter of Carmel as far as lawyers go. He's like the real deal.
Right.
So he is the defendant's lawyers. So I talked to him. I said, hey, what's up with this deal you got? He just had it yesterday. He goes, well, it got what do they call it? Continued. It's continued, but it's a boundary dispute. So something about in real estate, I'm going to go ahead and take this down. It's a boundary dispute. It's something to do with real estate. But here you go. Barry's not back in Indiana, but a while, and he's already fighting with somebody about land. So I don't know. What was really ironic was I had a job in Noblesville, a masonry job that was about 5 minutes from his mom's house, and I'm like, I hope he doesn't drive by and stop by my job and for a round two of things. But I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on, bring it. But anyway, so
I'm wondering if he's not trying to overstep his bounds and be a bit of a bully. Like when you kind of creep past that property line, and what's in the deed is in the deed. Of course,
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he's encroaching on somebody's property. Yeah. So maybe it's a hunting lease. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. I can find out some more from Ray when I see him again. But that's what we got going on there. But our guest tonight knows a little bit about this case. She's got a friend that was friends with Suzanne, and I met her at the same dinner that I was talking to Ray. Actually, I was talking to her, and I said, "Hey, I got to go catch Ray real quick to find out about this." So that's how we got talking about it. Come to find out, she's a true crimer too. I think everybody's into this true crime except me. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and bring her on as voice only here. See if she's Julie. Are you there? Julie, are you there?
Hey there. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys? Hi. Hi there.
So,
well, I don't exactly consider myself a true crimer.
Well, me neither. So you're in good company. But you've both been banned on Facebook, so I got you there. I've not been banned on Facebook, but anyway, Julie, tell our viewers a little bit about what you got going on, and I know that you've been covering the Delphi case a little bit, and you know some things about this Barry Morphew thing.
Yeah, so I got into the Delphi case through some connections to one of the victims. My sister was connected through marriage, and it wasn't something that I was looking to get into. I'd never been into true crime before. While I was interested and would watch shows, I've never been one to get on, the internet or anywhere else and get into it, because I guess my view is like, if there's not something I can do that's productive, then I just don't have the time, to waste, essentially, as far as I was looking at it, if I couldn't actually do something. So I got into the Delphi case, and that's like 5 shows long about all that stuff that I went through with that, and I'm still going through with that. But this whole, and I promised my husband, I'm not getting into any cases, I promise. Well, then one of my friends that was good friends with Suzanne Morphew had called me because we talked a lot. She knew that I was really into the Delphi case, and that I had that kind of inquiring mind of details. So she called me and asked me for dinner, to go out to dinner with her, and we sat down, and I had seen this on the news, but I didn't know at the time that she was friends with her and had been friends with her for a long time. Both of Suzanne's girls went to Hamilton Heights, and I think the older one, was going to Colorado to go to college, to go to college out there. And so she sat down, and of course she was pretty upset about losing her friend, and immediately she was suspicious. And like you and I talked about, John, it seems like the people that knew both of them, Suzanne and Barry, are the ones that are a little more suspicious about him. And I've gone over, I paid attention to this case for a while just because of my friend being good friends with Suzanne. So we talked about some things that she had learned during the course of their friendship. She indicated to me that Barry was a very controlling and domineering person, and was very controlling towards Suzanne. And Suzanne had gotten cancer and was in remission. And so when Barry decided, hey, we're gonna move out to Colorado, Suzanne wasn't all in. She didn't want to go out there. However, I don't know how the decision was made, but who doesn't love Colorado to go visit? So at some point in time, when their daughter decided she was going to go to college out there, then that was also a way for him to say, look, let's go out. She's going to go to college out there. Let's move out there. And they hadn't even sold their house in Alexandria. I think it was up for sale for like $675,000. Were you going to say something?
No, I think they eventually sold that, but I think it was after.
It wasn't until after they got to Salida that they had sold their home. Quite a bit after.
Yeah, but who does that? Right? Who does that? There wasn't a need. Okay, so I want you to start thinking about these things.
Yeah,
it was like
it was like emergent. Like he had to go now, right now. He wanted to go.
Yes.
Very antsy, very eager.
Yes, yes, and he was. And listen, this is what my friend said. Okay, this is what she noticed. She's like, okay, she just went into remission. She wanted to be with her family. Her family's all around, and he's in this hurry to move out there. Okay, she had inherited some money, so they had some money, but they hadn't even sold the house here. There wasn't even a time waiting. It was like, we're getting out of here, almost as though there was this preconceived notion that he had something planned. And so when my friend, my friend's daughter was friends with one of their daughters, good friends. She spent a lot of time over my friend's house. And my friend and her daughter were going to say goodbye to Suzanne before she left. And Suzanne had talked with her on the phone. Now this is at their house in Alexandria before they moved. And so my friend, she was upset that she was leaving. She knew she didn't want to leave. She knew that there was a lot of tension. And so she went over to the house because Suzanne said, come on over, we can say our goodbyes. And she gets to the house and Barry answers the door and he goes, oh, well, she's not here. She went into town to get some ice cream in Cicero at Alexandria's, ice cream shop. And now this is one thing that my friend said is that Suzanne's always a person of her word. She says, hey, and especially since they were meeting to say goodbye, Suzanne's not just going to up and go to an ice cream shop. So my friend said, okay, well, that's okay. I'll wait a little while. So she said she waited there for like 25 minutes and there's no sign of.
We lost her. She's driving back through the.
Come back.
Come back. We want to know what happened. I can't. I don't know. Oh, she'll come back in a second, but now we don't know. It's like the murderer is.
Maybe she'll
come back on.
She's traveling. Dead zone. Let's just give her a few minutes.
Oh, there she is. She's back.
Okay.
Let me put her back on here.
Here we go.
You left us.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I know we're driving through the mountains right now. Okay, so she leaves. My friend leaves with her daughter. They're very upset. They didn't get to see her. She had made several phone calls to her. Okay, so then the next time she talks or gets any word about Suzanne, I think one of the daughters communicated with her and said, oh yeah, I don't know, I guess maybe she believed what Barry said, that she had gone to get ice cream. Okay, well, it wasn't until the FBI came to visit my friend that they told her that Suzanne had been home the entire time.
That's what I thought.
Rorge.
That's what I.
Yeah, the entire time. And here's the thing. My friend is extremely discerning. She is like super. She's kind of like you and I. I think we're the same. Very discerning, all about details, very perceptive. You can't get certain things past people that have that. And Barry knows that about my friend. And she was going to talk to Suzanne about like how she was feeling, because Suzanne was expressing to her I'm worried. I don't want to leave. I don't want to move. You know, Barry's like putting this pressure on me. And that's why she kept my friend. That's why he kept my friend away from Suzanne. And she was so upset because they could not even say their goodbyes. And so it wasn't until the FBI came to talk to her and about some things. They asked her a lot of questions. And there was something that was said she had one phone call from the FBI, and then after the phone call, she had a visit from the FBI. And it was after that visit from the FBI that they told her that she gave them enough information to make the arrest of Barry. So that's how I got into this whole, like, and I haven't really been into it. What I do is I just talk to my friend and I say, hey, what's going on? Or I'll see something on X, formerly known as Twitter. And I was following.
I still call
it Twitter. Yeah, I do too. And it's Twitter. I was following that Lauren Sharf, and I had been making some comments on her, on her accounting of, her news reporting, because she did such a fine job of giving great details during the court hearing. But so my friend believes that, firmly believes that he did do this, and he did, she believes this, that he had everything to do with this and her disappearance or murder. And that he's, if you look at the details in this case, there is more circumstantial evidence in this case than there is in Delphi. And you got a guy sitting in prison being tortured.
I'll tell you what the difference is. One of those guys had money and one of them didn't.
No,
exactly.
No,
right, that's
Delphi case. We have bodies. Suzanne's case.
Oh yeah,
that's no bodies.
And in Colorado, that's a big thing. It's real hard to get a conviction. And I hate saying that word. She was so much more than just a body. But we need, Suzanne has to be found. As soon as she's found, his ass will be behind bars. Everybody knows.
I don't know.
Made sure that she will never be found. I used to live in Colorado. And I'm telling you, if you want to hide a body someplace, Colorado is the place to go. It's almost impossible to recover someone that's been missing with that vast territory. It is like finding a diamond in a haystack. It's so difficult. And he knew that terrain. He knew it. He knew it before he even moved out there. I would bet you money.
He did. He did. He went. So
that's
my friend
why he wanted to go there. And I almost wonder, and Julie, I don't mean to interrupt you, if the daughter's decision to go to Colorado was not influenced by her father.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was all planned. That was all planned to get her out there, to get his plan in action. That's my personal belief. That's my.
Yep. Because Suzanne would not want to be away from the girls.
Right. And she wouldn't. And of course, it's beautiful out there. She's already going to college. Let's go, all these wonderful things. But that was kind of the lure. But she didn't stay at home with him. She lived with her boyfriend. And there was that tension.
So I got a question sort of off that part of the subject. You look at the pictures with them like on vacation or whatever. I mean, is that just a front, or, I mean, she doesn't look like somebody who's under duress, other than the picture that I showed in the preview where he's standing at a door, like, you don't even think about talking to her. But
a lot of the pictures that I've seen, it's almost like oh gosh, correct me if I'm wrong, Julie. I know you're probably closer to this family than I have, but I've followed Suzanne's case for quite a bit. I had Lauren on the show last year. She's an MVP. It almost looked as if there was a little bit of Stockholm syndrome going on. Like, she knew her husband was a cheater.
Yes.
She knew he was just the dirtiest of dirty, but pictures are being taken. Suzanne, you better love me. You better smile for me. And in every photo, it almost like he had to one-up her. Like, he's in front of the camera. and she's back here. He's in the lawn chair leaning this way, and she's leaning into him. Like there was.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying? Am I making any sense?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, she was a happy-go-lucky person, full of life, full of energy. Was very athletic, very active. She loved her girls. Yeah, and like just like anybody, if if you're not looking to anybody else to give you your happiness, I mean, people are not, some people are just naturally happy. I'm a naturally happy person, and if you've got your kids with you or whatever, you could. I mean, I'm sure she had no problem. She was enjoying herself. She had her girls with her. If picture, you smile for the camera. You just don't know everything else that's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And one of the things that
anyway. I mean, she could smile and you would think everything is hunky dory.
Yes.
So it's just
right.
Like the
and
the scene of him,
they left her. They
go ahead.
Uh-oh.
I hear you. Oh.
Okay. Do you hear me?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. No, it's right. Okay. It was freezing up again. I didn't hear the last part of what you said, but I wanted to say this is that, of course the girls loved their mom and they had a close relationship. But on the flip side of it, think about how, look what all the circumstances are in this case. Look at how good he's been, like how well he's done for himself to cover this and not have to go really to a full-on trial. And I'm sure, I know he loves his girls, but come on, they no longer have their mom. She's dead on Mother's Day. There's nobody else. He's all they have. And of course, he has his own way of, getting sympathy from them. And, people say, oh, why are they sticking by their dad? It's a form of Stockholm syndrome. It is. I mean, and plus it would be so difficult for them to have to, actually take in that, my mom's gone and my dad's a murderer.
Right. Like if you put yourself in these girls' shoes, they're young women, they've lost their mom. Would you want to face the fact that your dad's a freaking murderer? That's just not
especially when he's
entertain. Being a young woman, you don't entertain those thoughts up here. You just don't.
Right.
I'm wondering if there is not even a little bit of financial abuse going on with burying those girls.
Well, and because it seemed like they were like really connected.
Hold it with her head.
Yeah, they seemed really connected to it. So I put in the chat there, I put the link to the video that when I went out for the search. It's been 2 years now since we went out for that search. In fact, the picture on our backdrop here is one I took when I was out there. And when I rolled into Salida, I thought, oh, look, they got a big S up there for Suzanne.
Such a beautiful community.
Yeah, it's just a little bitty thing that the deers run out in the road during the day. And that actually the S lights up and it goes off at like 4 in the morning because it was shining right in my window at that B&B I was staying at. So yeah, that was, this whole thing just keeps on going on and it has so many different twists and turns that I don't know if we'll ever find out exactly what happened. It's obviously Barry's not in Colorado. He's in Noblesville and moving on, it looks like. So I'm fighting with more people. So it's like, hey, hey, Julie, we appreciate you coming on. And if we get into the Delphi murders, we want to definitely have you come on and talk about that.
That's going to be another story. Hey, I wanted to say real quick, Barry was an avid hunter and he did big game hunting.
Yeah.
And I do believe that those skills were utilized in this whole thing. I mean, I have my whole theory about how it happened, and so does my friend.
I think
we'll talk about that another time. I know. Yeah. And I know you guys have other things to cover.
Yeah, we're trying to do updates on this, and that's,
But Suzanne has always been, to the forefront of our shows. Like if there's an update or anything, we are on it. This whole case breaks my damn heart.
Sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting Lauren to come back on and see what more she knows because she's been real good at.
Lauren is the MVP. I love her to death. She is a fantastic lady. Lots of props to Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, she had death threats. I mean, this thing.
Yeah, that would be
this
awesome.
Is just such a strange situation. It's something else. So, all right. Well, Julie, thanks for coming on, and
thank you so much.
Well,
Julie.
thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
I'll be keeping in touch with you guys.
You have a wonderful weekend, sweetheart. Thank you.
Oh, I cut her off.
You're rude.
I know, I'm a terrible hoster here. I'm supposed to be just a producer. Maybe we get Julie to be your sidekick, and then I could just produce.
She's fun.
Yeah,
but
she was fun.
You know, with Suzanne's case, like I try not to interject personal opinions, and though I suck at it. I suck at it.
And it's crazy. You know, let's go to the Steve Sumner next, because I know that I don't want you to get all emotional here about this, because it's depressing, because
Suzanne's
it's been
case
over
breaks my heart. I'm not gonna lie.
It's over 3 years, and we do have a little bit more personally involved in this. And you know, I knew Suzanne's nephew, before this, before even this happened a little bit. I'd met him a couple times, and it's just crazy where we are. But this would be a good segue, because Barry Morphew did work at Steve Sumner's house, and put trees in on this. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's how close this silly stuff is.
You cannot make this
up. I know it.
Does anybody in the chat find it creepy how these people are intertwined?
Yep. Well, and there's even talk about Barry being mixed up with a drug cartel. And,
that wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, with that dude, nothing surprises me. Not a damn thing.
So
he can come out tomorrow and say he was the Easter Bunny, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Hey, Josh just stole something from behind your thing.
Joshy, what'd you steal?
It's like,
don't be picking on my old man.
I try not to be in the show. Try not to be in the show. So Steve is still on the run, unlike Megan. That hey, keep it on your time, Josh. On your time.
I haven't seen this man all week. He's just been working, and now it's Friday, and I can just.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. City Councilman is out there in the mountains of Tennessee, probably lounging it up at some fancy Airbnb cabin with his little skanky girlfriend.
Let's pull up the flyer here, because here we go. Man Monday. Woo. So
she got her foundation from the Willy Wonka makeup factory, because that girl is orange.
Here we go. We're gonna make fun of this gal's makeup.
Sorry, I'm a petty Betty.
I knew it was coming.
So
well, Steve looks like he's getting a haircut at the barbershop. So I don't know, but we were talking about this before the show started, about how these women will, gravitate towards these bad boys. I mean, these guys are just like criminals. And
it's one thing to love a rebel, because I was that girl. We all love a rebel, but this isn't a rebel. This is disgusting. This is a predator. He's a predator. No.
So apparently he's been sighted down in Gatlinburg area, or there's been some tips to lead to that, and is running around in Airbnbs. And that'll be another segue to our other person, of how she got caught. It was about an Airbnb. So it's very interesting. I don't know if anybody's in the that's watching that follows the Steve Sumner case, or if there's somebody on the Megan Stoner. I know we have, we have all these updates for what's going on, but so they're still looking for him.
Yeah.
They caught the guy in.
I want everyone to continue to share this wanted poster that we've got of Stevie, Scuba Steve over here.
Yeah,
18 counts, man.
Bonnie and Clyde here running around. So
I have more respect for Bonnie and Clyde than I do these skanky people.
Oh boy, there we go. Bonnie and Clyde, they were legends. No,
Bonnie and Clyde will always be legends. These two are the scum of the earth.
The scum of the earth. Yep. So there's not a whole lot to talk about. Let's see. Let's do a over and under. Let's see the over and under is 14. You can pick.
Hi, Jamie. Jamie's watching.
Okay. Is she?
Yeah, she's right here in the chat.
Okay, cool. Hey, We got some fans. Actually, our shows have been getting a lot of viewership, so I'm surprised. We're just bumbling around in here doing this show. But the over and under on this is 14 days. He'll be caught either under 14 days or over 14 days. I'll give you one or the other. Which one you want?
I don't think that we're going to hear anything about, Scuba Steve being caught. I'm going to say it's going to be closer to Halloween. Because eventually that money's going to run out.
You take it over. I'll take the under. So, I'm saying 14 because we might have enough information on something.
Because technically it is still touristy season in his area. And
so
once it gets a little bit closer to, Halloween, Thanksgiving, those tourists are going to go home and he won't be able to hide so well.
Oh, you think he's hiding amongst the tourists, huh?
And again, the Airbnb funding is going to, and that's when those costs of Airbnbs will get higher. The more it gets
because the fall
holidays,
fall foliage,
that shit's going to go up in price.
Leaves go off the trees. So if you're in the chat, you say over 14 days or under 14 days. I want to see. I could do the Magic 8 Ball. Let's do that. I'll do.
Oh my gosh, I haven't played with one of those in years.
Yeah, this is.
Where'd you get that?
I had to buy it. It's not as good as the one I used to have. It's sort of cheap.
My mother never let me have one because she said they were evil.
Here's. Oh wait, we got to say. I'm going to say he's going to be caught in under 14 days. So let's see. And it says my sources say no. Dang it.
Thank you.
Magic 8 Ball and DD got me again. But hey, guess what? Wait, here we go. This is what one of the viewers say. Karma's going to find that. What's those little stars mean?
She means asshole.
Oh, okay. I just was wondering about that.
So. I got you, Sandy.
Yeah, that's well, it seems like maybe we should just name the show that tonight. The three, never mind. So the case goes on up there, and I thought we were going to get the biological mom to come on, but her feet got really cold, and I guess I don't blame her. Because some of this crime stuff, people come after you, and I don't understand that. I mean,
they do.
When I had, I told my story about Barry, I had so many people come after me like, oh, you're a terrible person and all that. And you can obviously see that I am a terrible person. I don't need to be told every day how bad I am. But, and they've got Julie.
The only thing that you're bad at is your dad jokes.
I know they're bad, aren't they? I got a new one.
Mine John has been flooding me with dad jokes. I'm like,
so can you keep up? So did you hear about you heard about the Hurricane Hillary, didn't you?
No.
It's not that bad. Wait till Monica comes in because it's really gonna blow.
For fuck's sake. That's dirty.
It's forensic foreplay sort of. Well,
yeah, I got one for you.
Okay.
When life gives you melons, you're dyslexic.
Okay, a 12-year-old walks in the bar, orders a beer. The bartender says, I can't serve you in here. He goes, yeah, you can. I'm dyslexic. See, look at us go. This is really a great show. Goodness. We're supposed to be serious about finding these people. We got one. We got one smiley face. We got one.
It's going to be a little bit closer, more towards towards the fall that Mr. Sumner is going to get busted. Once those tourists start going home, and the cost of the B&Bs go up once it gets closer to the holiday season, because everybody wants their Thanksgivings in the Smoky Mountains, their Christmases in the Smoky Mountains. Those Airbnb costs are going to go up like 60%, and his money is going to run out, and he will not be able to hide. Unless he's going to go to Dollywood, which I don't see that happening.
Yeah, she'll turn him in because she's starting libraries all over the place. She's a good person. She won't let him stay there for free. Don Dunlap, he's a friend of mine. I haven't talked to Don in a while.
Yeah, he don't like your jokes either.
Don was a true. Oh, he endured about 14 years of a Catholic men's group with me. So he has all the privilege to say that about me because I threw him out there every once in a while. But yeah, so they're talking about the lichens on here. I don't know if there's any more information on that. I did go up to see Senator Mike Braun in Anderson. I don't know if I had done that before we had the last show or not, and to just show my face when we had Kathleen Callahan on. She was running for the caucus for the coroner.
How is she doing? I like Kathleen. I think she's a straight up gal. I like her.
Well, she lost that caucus, but it was all rigged and everything. But she'll come back, and she's still doing it. But she's feisty. She's feisty, and she could be on probably all of our shows because she's got a foot in everything. She does good things in Central Indiana.
You mean that there was a rigged election? You don't say.
Yeah, it was.
Never.
It was. So the establishment had their people in there, but
I
think that there'll be Revenge of the Nerds is coming in next year's election because they'll be loading up for them when it's time to go. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get over to the Megan Stoner thing because yeah. So Dee Dee, you said she's in Marion County Jail, huh?
I believe so. And if anybody in the chat, if I am incorrect, you know what? I'm just going to double check. I thought it was Marion County.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you how, while you're looking that up, I'll tell you what I heard, how they caught her. So apparently she's into this shaman yoga, something or other thing. And I don't know how, because she scams people out of money on the internet. Any way she can do it. On the regular, just whatever. So apparently she was getting money, give me 10, give me 15, 20, whatever dollars.
Begging.
And she was doing
begging
Megan. Like the little begging bits.
I've never seen anybody beg for money the way she does ever in my life.
She's good at it because she's staying away. So I guess they enticed her with a money making thing with a yoga shaman or some deal, and she told them where she was, and they went and nabbed her. So
wow, that I didn't know. Bravo.
Yeah. So Slick Woody says that
I stand corrected. I think it is Hamilton County.
Oh yeah, the big house.
It is Hamilton County. I thought it was Marion County, but it looks to be Hamilton County.
I wonder if she'll get Poindexter. He's the traffic court guy up there. If you ever want to have an entertaining day of court, go see Judge Poindexter. He is hilarious. I mean, a lot of people got to pay a really heavy fine because usually they get pulled over for going like 80 in a school zone. So they got to pay like $174, and you got to go to court for that. And it's like night court. The guy's hilarious. But I went in there this is a funny story that ties this in. The same day Barry attacked me, I got a seatbelt violation in Carmel. I had my seatbelt under my arm because I got a broken collarbone and it rubs on there. So I put it under there, and they still gave me a ticket. Improper wearing of a seatbelt. I'm like, really? So I went to the court to fight it. So I sat through all these people, and I'm laughing. I mean, it's like 2 hours of all these people, and these Poindexter making fun of them. It's high school kids. It's all these, he's just ripping through. And it gets to mine. I said, I'm not even going to fight this thing. I mean, I was wearing the thing. I said, it was worth the 2 hours and the $25 fine to sit through and listen to you in this court. He sort of laughed. And
well, what would they would have done if you were driving a classic car that only has a lap belt? Do you still get a fine?
And just you
don't have a shoulder belt?
Go in Hamilton County and see what happens to you. Ask Megan Stoner. Apparently they caught her in there. So she's been sort of hanging out close. I just wonder if Steve Sumner is not hanging out close, and because you think if they think he's in Gatlinburg, they ought to be able to narrow this down pretty quick. I mean, they caught that guy out there in Pennsylvania,
the murder guy. At mountainous ranges as well. It's still technically it's still vacation season. Like I said, I don't think he's going to get busted until closer to Halloween. Somebody's funding him, and she's going to run out of money too. Right now he's hiding out in some cabin, and it wouldn't surprise me if he is having people doing the Venmo or the Cash App. That wouldn't surprise me. He's got to be getting money from somewhere.
Yeah. So we got Brian Solomon. He says, "Is that all you have about the Steve Sumner case?" Yeah, that's pretty much all that we know at this particular point. So,
Brian, I did call the police department out in where his last location where he was in the Air Force. And I got that info from Jamie. Great Falls I believe that's what it's, what is with North Dakota, Great
North
Falls?
Dakota, yeah.
I did call their local PD and I did ask a couple of questions on how to put out like a bolo or this and that, and you'd have to go into their website and fill out like like an action report or whatnot. And since I am not technically a victim, I can't do that. And I asked Montana. Thank you, Jamie.
There we go. I'm glad we got smart viewers in here that can help us get through this.
Like all that whole territory up there, it's just falls out of the back of my head.
It gets cold in the winter.
Makes me think of the movie Fargo. If anybody's seen Fargo, I kind of have like this whole picture in my head and how these people are up there. Hey, so
yeah, get some donuts and some Molsons.
You know, they've got there's 2 different types of reports that you can get on the Great Falls Police Department website, and it is you file a report online if it happened within 6 months, if you're a victim, if it's been longer than 6 months, if you're a victim. I asked her if they accept faxes or anything over email about wanted people. It has to come from like a marshal or like a district attorney. It can't come from some true crimer like myself.
Yeah, that's too bad. They should give us badges, because then we could like flash our, hey, do this thing. Like, oh wait, here's a badge.
If I flash anything, they're going to arrest me.
Okay, not even going to comment. That's terrible. So we got Megan Stoner is caught. And we have a couple of her victims that I'm talking to. I don't know if they're ready to come on and talk about it, but if we could get them lined up, we'll get them on. One of them did a bunch of work with her about setting up a company to get a bank loan to scam the bank out of money. And then she never paid him for all this work, and he worked a whole bunch of stuff on it. And then another guy, I can't remember what his deal, but I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork about these people that, I mean, I guess I've never talked to her, but she must be very engaging.
She's ballsy. She's ballsy.
She's like that Anna. What was that? Inventing Anna. Did you see that one? Is that sort of what you think?
Yes.
That she is?
A bit, yeah.
Like
I honestly, if they would have let her keep going, I honestly seen her on that route of scamming little old ladies out of their Social Security.
We just had a 92-year-old man get scammed out of $80,000 or $90,000 by somebody acting like they were his girlfriend or whatever. I just turned 62. I hope I don't get old and stupid like that. I mean, I probably will. So, just wait around a while.
That's the most disgusting thing you can do is scam senior citizens out of money that they have earned their entire life. Granted, here pretty quick, we know that Social Security is going to be like non-existent.
I know. I can claim it now. I can claim it at 62.
Social Security.
I can claim mine. I'm going to get mine now. No, I'm not getting it till later. But so you talk about that. There's this little old lady that I'm helping out here. She's 81-year-old retired vet. I ought to get her to come on the show. She's a trip. I mean, I would
love to have her.
She was a veterinarian on Martha's Vineyard, and she was telling. So I met her when I was campaigning, and she was out in her little walker, getting some exercise, and I gave her my card. And then she called
my ears when you said Martha's Vineyard.
Okay, well, she's got a lot of stories. Oh yeah, I know. Well, we're not gonna. Yeah, that's a whole.
Oh, you know what I want to dig for? I want to eat some Martha's
I wouldn't want to be a cook out there. A veterinarian maybe, but not a cook. So anyway, so I started talking to her.
I just got that. Oh, I about spit out. I about lost my Cabernet Sauvignon. You mean chef, not a cook?
Splash it on.
Oh, you're
So I started talking to her, and she's really got nobody. Her kids don't live nearby, and I think she's estranged from them. And She feeds all the birds. She spends half of her Social Security check on the birds. But she called me up. She was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. She's distraught. I'm sideways with my landlord, and he's a terrible person. Just calling him all these names. I haven't paid my rent since January, and I'm like, oh dear. I don't know if I can't remember. So I get the number from him. I broker a deal with him to get her back rent paid. I take her to the bank. We get some money to get a cashier's check, get everything going. I get her direct deposit straight to him. This guy's only charging her $650 a month for this rent for this house. Yeah. So she was saying he's a scoundrel. And he's really giving her a good deal.
That's like, we haven't seen rent that low since what, y'all? 2009.
Yeah, I know. Well, and so this guy's he's a saint, because I really think he wants to. She's an 81-year-old lady. I just sit out on the porch with her. I don't even want to go in the house because I know what happened. You don't take care of stuff. And so anyway, so I've been taking her, we serve homeless on Sundays. I've been taking her a meal at 4 and visiting with her, and she's just lonely, but she's got she's just a hoot. I mean, she's got some funny stories, and on things, but so now I'm a contact for her. But my point was being that, it would be easy to take advantage of somebody that doesn't know what's going on. I mean, it's sad that people will do that. And they just, you look at the identity theft and even Barry was voting illegally in the mail for Suzanne. I'm like, dude.
That really, when I learned about that struck a nerve with me, because of course my husband is he's an election fraud investigator.
Ask Josh, is that a felony? Is that a felony? So can he not have guns now? Yeah, hold on, everybody. We're gonna get the authority here on this.
I had to rally my troop.
Yeah, he's like, we got a question. Sometimes we got a question. We got to go to the. Yeah, if the magic 8-ball can't do it, then Josh can.
Is like, if this man knows the rules front and backwards. This is why Mike Lindell hates my husband so much. You can't.
There's probably a line. There's probably a line for that.
Oh well, screw that.
Well, was Sidney Powell involved with that one up there? I know she was helping Trump out, and she was sticking her neck out.
Well, all I'm going to say is that the man that claimed to have these PCAPs was bad mouthing her religiously.
Really? Yeah, I don't think
John has a question for you, my love.
What did I do now?
Okay,
Joshy. So Barry Morphew illegally voted for his wife with a mail-in ballot. Does that mean he's a felon? Yes. Is that a felony?
Yes.
So he can't own any guns?
Correct.
Huh.
But is it a felony in the state of Colorado, though? Because every state has their own different laws for election integrity, election fraud.
Could he have done a plea bargain down?
He voted in a presidential race, therefore that would make it federal. So it's not Colorado law, it's U.S.
That's federal law.
Okay, so I wonder if he's supposed to have any guns. That's pretty much tough. If you're a hunter, can you have a bow and arrow?
He wasn't that part of the deal with Barry, was that they were not going to hand over his weapons and he wanted them back. Do you remember that? He asked for his weapons to be returned and they said no.
So, yeah, it's pretty hard to hunt elks without, I guess you could throw rocks at them.
Unless he's using someone else's weapons.
Now, what's the laws? And now keep in mind that he got
busted. Well, if felons aren't supposed to have guns, the law in Indianapolis is you got to stay away from people with guns because it doesn't matter if they're a felon or not. They got a gun. We got like record murder rates here. So, it's Thank you. Yeah, that's interesting. So, thanks, Josh. You're the best. We got any more questions? You're like the Google of our show.
Y'all should just have more people in Indiana carrying weapons.
Oh, it's like 5 per capita here. It's
like Texas.
Yeah, it's tough. And then we got, it's just, and we got, we got constitutional carry here. You could just carry the gun if you're not a felon. If you're a felon, you got a problem. You can't do it. So,
What did someone say about Sydney?
Is it a felony to vote twice on election day in Indiana? Yes.
Yes.
That is a felon. It's a felony.
That's
a no-no.
That was a rhetorical question. I think he already knew the answer to that. So that's good. All right, Dee Dee, I think it's time to wrap this thing up and put a bow on it. We've covered our updates. I don't know what more we could talk about. We talked about little old ladies.
Slick Witty, I would not go and get a felony by the federal government. I would not do that.
No, I'm not doing that either. But
nope. You've got men sitting in prison for 22 years for January 6th events that wasn't even there on January 6th.
That I cannot believe they're putting that much jail on these people. That's
we've got pedophiles and child molesters that get off with less time.
Yeah, we got Steve Sumner running vacationing in Gatlinburg. So
yep.
And then Megan Stoner's in the Hamilton County Suites. So I wonder when her stuff's going to happen.
She was complaining that she didn't have no place to stay. She was complaining that she did not have any food. Well, now she's got 3 hots and a cot. So Miss Megan Bagan will be just fine.
She'll be good. I'm sure she's watching our show. Did they get the internet in there?
No, I don't think so.
I think they do. I mean, you could get like a sex change and stuff. So you could get that. Yeah, that's the latest thing going around. The Indiana ACLU is suing because this guy that murdered his baby is in the male penitentiary and he wants a sex change. So our lovely ACLU of Indiana is suing the Department of Corrections because that is healthcare.
It's not healthcare. That would be like
I'm going to need healthcare.
Tummy tuck. That would be like me wanting the whole lipo and tummy tuck, all the things. That's healthcare.
No, it's not even like that. At least you're still a female. So then my question
I have 4 children. I want a tummy tuck. I want to be shrinked and mink.
Here you go. Slick Witty says, get a felony, and there you go. You can go get it for free.
Man.
So here's the thing. So if the dude gets a sex change in there, gets all that done, is he going to want to move to the women's prison?
Yes.
Or she?
Yes.
Right. See, I never can get it right.
That's what predators do. They will go out of their way to have access to their prey. That's just how they think.
I wish we didn't have to have a crime show, but we do, and it's a lot of people follow it. So, okay, well, hey, let's wind it up. Let me see if I think I got an ending. I got an ending to this show. It's beautiful. So, everybody, we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed our updates. I know they weren't like super califragilisticexpialidocious, but
it's just nice to touch base so people don't think that
we want to keep Suzanne's in the forefront, and hoping for some justice at some point.
We'll get it someday.
And then we want to get Steve Sumner caught. And then obviously Megan's stuff is, in my opinion,
she's like this weird Lilliputian. I don't like. There's some.
It's
wrong
not
with
that. I mean, it's just. You say it's just money, but
it's not
it's
just money
behind it.
What she did to a lot of these people is really disgusting. And in this economy, you can't be screwing people out of hundreds of dollars because that's their grocery bill, that's their light bill. That may be all that they have left. You can't be screwing people out of just people say, oh, it's only $500. No, it's not just only $500. That's a lot of money for a lot of people, especially now.
Yeah. And the, the one guy, he's like about to lose his house and, because he spent all this man hours. He said he spent over 100 hours working with this. When he was supposed to be, and he turned down other gigs to work with her.
It wasn't just like she scammed people on a various, like in every avenue that you can scam somebody out of money, she was there.
I like the charity one. I'm going to do this charity run for $10 and then never turn the money in.
I know, and it just keeps going. It keeps going. Like she just.
I wonder if they have a website you can go to scam. That's one thing. Barry Morphew was apparently watching true crime.
Mag, yes. Barry is back in Indiana.
Okay.
Old stomping grounds.
Yeah, he's up in Noblesville, and apparently he's opened a business with one of his daughter's names on it and his mom's house.
Because he can't have his name on anything because right now he's poison.
Yeah.
Ladies, would you want this man coming and digging in your flower bed? I wouldn't.
digging in your flower bed. Well, the other thing is, he's got the business address as his mom's house, so we don't know what's going on. But honestly, if you're in commercial work, and that's what I do light commercial work, light to medium commercial work. You bid this work. They don't do background checks on you. They just want you to get it done. How fast and how cheap can you get it done, or what's your price? I don't operate with those contractors. I don't go out into the Wild Blue Yonder bidding this work. I have contractors I work for. I still bid the work, but I have contractors that use me over and over.
I just wanted to touch on this one little detail. A couple of years ago, this is when Suzanne's case was very fresh and very early on. Me and my husband both did some digging on financial dealings that Barry was doing. And there's a lot of properties with a lot of shady financial deals, allegedly. I think you guys know where I'm getting.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of properties with nothing on it.
Well, they're deer leases. They're the deer leases and stuff up here. And there was one guy that he sort of screwed over on a deer lease that I think they traded some work. When I was, got in the spotlight on this thing, then I talked to another guy that went hunting with him, and he was he said, well, we were like out there in the wilderness, sort of by ourselves and stuff. And he didn't seem to think Barry was capable of doing that. So, I mean,
well, you know what? It's just one of those things. Some people are just very trusting people, and I keep everybody at an arm's distance. I don't trust anybody.
I know we got one, Dee Dee. We got a show coming up. There's a guy named Tyree Coleman here in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And he was 2000-ish or whatever. He got involved with the young, a boy underage, and got in trouble, got thrown in jail, gets out, rehabilitated, serves homeless, all this stuff. I served some homeless people with him. Well, I cut ties with him a couple of years ago because his finances were not working out. It just was a little shady. I'm thinking, you know what? We had this diner that was over here, and we were working on it. And then all of a sudden the rent, he had to get moved out. And he said, oh, they're moving us out because they're going to build a high rise. I'm like,
that's unusual.
I don't know. It's getting a little shady. I'm out of here. Well, anyway, he gets caught again about 6 months ago, and now he's in jail for good.
Gets caught what?
Oh, doodling underage, like 16.
Because they can't be fixed, John. They can't be fixed.
Yeah.
I don't care what society says. Oh, he's a pedophile. We're going to fix him. No, you cannot.
Well,
if you could fix a pedophile, BTK would be walking the streets and working at your local grocery store. You cannot fix someone that is infatuated with little people, with young adults.
Yeah, they're young adults. He wasn't, and one of the guys in the first place, the kid ended up committing suicide, and it was sort of a mess. And I had people telling me about this. Oh, you need to, I finally hey, I got to get away. I got to get away from this guy. But anyway, he gets rolled up. So then they drag me into it, saying they're pretty much saying I'm a pedophile because I served homeless people with him. So we're going to cover that case so he's apparently.
Well, this is that whole guilty by association.
Yeah.
I
that's why I say I'm too nice, too naive sometimes.
Well, and you always give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm a Sagittarius, and I give no fucks. I do not do that. Just because. But you're a nice guy.
I'm that old Virgo. Come on now.
I don't do that. But, just for an example, 3 years ago, we had a situation at our intermediate school and our middle school in my area of Texas. Okay. My old area of Texas. And come to find out, we had a band teacher that was exposing himself to these students in the bathroom for years.
What?
Years.
So he was like the old joke.
Years,
Mr. So-and-so. Dude.
And years he was preying on these kids, exposing himself in the bathroom, all sorts of, I cannot even tell you. And this is where my son was like, changed my mind. I don't want to play the trombone.
I was going to say, yeah, he was.
He was I'll pass. On for so long, and it had been swept under the rug for so long. And finally, they got him on, holy moly, I want to say 17, 18 counts of indecent exposure, illicit relationship with minors, boys and girls. He was preying on boys and girls. And these are kids are junior high. These are preteens. This was ongoing. And I'm going to tell you something. They don't recover from that. These victims, they don't recover. It sits in the back of their little minds until they are old people, and they think about it and they stew on it. It is absolutely horrible. But the predators, you can't fix them.
Yeah,
You can't fix them.
He,
I don't
he
care.
did, he
Everybody
did
says
okay.
there's no
He did okay for a
rehabilitation
while,
for
but
pedophiles.
yeah, I went back to it. I didn't see anything that was, red flag. And it wasn't like I was hanging out with we served homeless people.
But then again, let's say, like, it's like the lady at the cashier at Walmart. You don't think that somebody she's giving their change back to doesn't have bodies in their backyard? But
I don't got any bodies in my backyard.
She's not associated or affiliated. It's
Although
not her doing.
My cat ate my neighbor's pet rabbit last night. It was gruesome. Ate its head. It was terrible. And so it's too late. Well, they just let it. Our neighbors across the street, they have this policy of let's get a pet and not put it in anything. Let's just let it run around. Mm-hmm. And they've had chickens, they've had cats, they've had dogs, they've had all sorts of stuff. And they had 2 rabbits, and they had them in a cage, but then they just let them out and run around. And we got feral cats.
Witty. I did not see that. There's another issue where there's a junior high principal. I have to go back and look. He's the drag queen, the junior high principal, and he's also having relationships with children. And a lot of these parents are backing him.
I guess get it out of the way early. If you're going to get molested, let's go ahead and do it early.
I will admit, I am not a prude. I'm an open-minded girl. I loved going to drag shows back in the day. I loved it. I went to the Cabaret 2 in Nashville. I was pulled up on stage by Mr. Nashville. He was so cute. But it's adult entertainment. It's adult entertainment. You don't bring your children. Like, honestly, just to speak my mind, I love a good drag show.
No, you're not going to speak your mind, are you?
But back in the day, it was different. It was comedy. It was talent, and everybody joined in. It was so fun. The drag shows now are raunchy and gross.
It's like they have an agenda. That's the difference. There's an agenda. It's not
like the drag shows I went to, like in the early 2000s, where it was amazing and awesome. But I would have felt so uncomfortable taking my mom's night out away from my children to get a table at a drag show to see 7-year-old Timmy at the table next to me. I would feel really uncomfortable. You don't bring your children to a dog. John, would you bring your daughter to a strip club?
Don's looking out for me. He tells me to get away from you now because you're bad news. Sagittarius.
I did, but this was in the early 2000s.
Okay. So Dawn, she's rehabilitated now. It's not like the other guy.
It was a totally different scene at that time. It really was.
It does seem like this stuff has just popped, but it has been going on for a while. It just seems like it's popped.
They're pushing the barrier. They're pushing. And now I would not even go to a drag show now. I have no thank you.
It's just not the same.
It's not the same. It's just not the same. Before it was about talent and comedy and everybody having a good time, but the level of raunch and sexual exploitation, that's not talent to me. That's desperation, and they just want attention.
I want attention. Yeah,
it's gross. It's gross.
Do you ever see Izzy Izzard? He's a cross-dressing comedian.
Izzy Izzard, my husband.
He is hilarious.
He's a massive fan.
He is. If you watch that one he just talks about England and how we take your country with this flag, and we have these muskets too. He was hilarious.
He always gave me the creeps.
Well,
Pretty
he
easy.
was on. I watched this great bits of Monty Python, and he's on there, and he's got just the 2 earrings in and the lipstick and a little eyeliner, and I'm like, oh, he's dressing down trans.
I'm also the one, and this is where me and my husband we agree on everything except one thing. And y'all in the chat are gonna like obliterate my ass.
We should have gone off the air.
I hate the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, wow.
It gives me this feeling of ick in the pit of my stomach, and I think it's yucky and it's predatory and it's gross.
I've never seen
the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
This is how old I am, Dee Dee. So when I was in college, that movie came out in '80.
I maybe that's why I don't like how it made me feel when I was a little girl. I watched it probably at an age that I should not have watched it.
See, I just I've seen pieces of it.
Was Pennywise. Just
but they used to get dressed up and go to this thing. They would take toast and I'm like, I didn't go to. I never went, but they would go to the midnight show.
Yes,
and take all the stuff, and
everybody would stand up and do the time warp.
Yeah, and then that's also when Devo was out, and they were wearing flower pot on their heads.
I love Devo. So, yeah, I was a baby.
It was fun. 80s. I growing up in the 70s and college in the early 80s, that was good times. We didn't have none of this garbage going on that we have now. I went to school for
era.
I went to 5 years of college for $20,000. So that's not like a half a semester these days. It's crazy,
now that's like you go to get a master's nowadays. Well,
yeah,
you know what? Like, you won't ever own a home.
Yeah, I just got my daughter's student loan going back again today after 3 years off. I was enjoying that, but that's nothing like paying on one of your kids' loans. So, all right. Well, that is enough. We did make it through. You hated the Rocky Picture Show, and nobody really went away. So
at least nobody in the chat is blasting me. It just wasn't my cup of tea, y'all. I
know Don Dunlap's about my age. He probably remembers that movie.
Then again, I had absolutely no desire to see the new Barbie movie either. I'm just a lame housewife, maybe. I jam in my kitchen to replace of Casey Kasem from 1986 and
86. I remember 76.
They have
that was a great show. Casey Kasem, that was the top 40 was great. Oh, Don Dab, he did see the thing. Susan Sarandon. And look,
she was the only one that was absolutely fresh in that movie. She was so cute. But
I gotta see it now. I gotta see it. Is it on Netflix and stuff? Can you see it?
I don't know. But my issue is, I think I have an issue with Tim Curry. I think he just has.
Who's that? I don't know that guy. I don't know who Tim Curry is.
He was the dude in the Snow Highs and the lipstick.
He was. I didn't see the movie.
I just it in the ladies' undies. That was the guy.
I didn't see the movies. I gotta see the damn thing. So.
And he was also
in Home Alone 2?
Pennywise. He was the original Pennywise. And I think maybe that's why I did not like him. Just him all around. It was him that gave me the creeps. It would have been somebody else in that lead role in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Maybe I would have felt different about it. But one, I hate Meatloaf. I did not like that guy. And I don't like Tim Curry. He gives me the willies.
Okay, well, that I have to see that movie now.
Don would love to see you in some stockings and some ladies' undies.
So he did. No, we're not doing that.
Maybe we have a running bet. Halloween's coming up.
For love of everything holy. Can't do it. Can't do it anymore. You
don't have the balls.
No, I can't do it. I'm very modest. Or what's the thing about, not showing my stuff, like they button up my t-shirts even.
Evangelical.
No, I'm not that. Come on.
I had to jab. I'm sorry.
Evangelical. I mean, it's fine. We label people get labeled these things. We had a socialist Democrat on our show Tuesday, our political show.
Well, that's ballsy.
Yeah, well, he was anything but that. He was all over the place. He was libertarian. He was anarchy. He was all, he had nothing. I mean, come on, dude.
No.
It's like, make up your mind. I don't know why we got to.
But who is he voting for for the next campaign, the next election?
What's that?
Who is he siding with for the next presidential campaign?
Oh, he was just talking about our mayor. He's going to vote for the Democrat mayor. So he probably would be, I would assume, that Joe Biden or whoever, if Joe Biden lives long enough and if Donald Trump can stay out of jail, then, we'll have a rematch of that deal. So I can't wait. But our elections are in November.
I honestly, I don't think Donald deserves to go to jail. I'm not going to vote for him, but I don't think he needs to be in jail. I mean, did anybody find child porn on his laptop? Did he sell us
maybe they could get him for that
$180 billion down the toilet for some greedy prick in Ukraine who is now threatening us and extorting this country? Give me your money or I'm going to send my people in to bomb your country. Come on. I call this from the very beginning. It's in Zelensky's bloodline to be greedy.
So play the trumpet. So, okay. Well, that's it. Thanks. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. I think we managed to squeak something out here on this thing. So let me get to the ending and we can say bye-bye. And we may or may not have a show next Friday, but when we do have enough information, we will have a show. So
I'm going to do some digging this week to see what I can find.
All right. Say bye, Dee Dee.
Bye.